Of all the auto brands on the road today, only one has been named the best auto brand for 6 straight years. That brand is Mazda. Come shop and save on the award-winning lineup of new Mazdas right now at Baton Rouge's Mazda dealer, Team Mazda on Airline.
Hi, business owners. Phase 3. Woohoo! But do your customers know you're back? Well, that's where the Clarence Bug Show and Pelican Broadcasting can help. Right now, we've got great rates on advertising packages to help you get the word out. Shoot me an email at bugsclarence@gmail.com. Or better yet, call me up. I'd love to talk with you. 225-485-6839. Let's get together and make Phase 3 the best it can possibly be.
From appetizers, pasta dishes, and entrees, La Contea takes pride in preparing all the Italian cuisine we know you love. Enjoy live music every Thursday through Saturday from 6 to 9, happy hour weekdays from 3 to 6, and brunch on Sundays from 11 to 2, as well as dinner portion-sized lunch specials for under $10. Visit our website to view our menu and book a party or meeting in our large banquet room. Once you try La Contea, your Italian dining will change forever.
They said I could find you here. Why are you fishing? Our company's got to ship out 2 full color brochures and 20 color copies. You're killing me.
It's done. Designed, printed, packaged, and shipped.
How?
You just got to know the right people. Baker Printing, the printing people.
How come you get to fish in this private lake?
Like I said, you just got to know the right people. You can know the right people too.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Hello and welcome to another week of the Clarence Bug Show. Here's hoping that your weekend was an absolutely fabulous one. If not, well, as we are so fond of saying each and every Monday, right about this time of the day, good Lord willing, you will still be here when the next one rolls our way, and you will have the opportunity to try it all over again. You know, for most of us, particularly baby boomers, we think back to our years in high school, middle school, and the like. And there were experiences that we had and individuals that we encountered as teachers and administrators that set the tone for us for the rest of our lives. I make no bones about the fact that I am a proud product of the East Baton Rouge Parish Public School System. And I think back some 41 years now to a couple of teachers that, quote, made the light come on for me. Mrs. Shirley Singleton, God bless her, English teacher that just had this amazing way of connecting with her students. And Mrs. Gardier, who started the radio broadcasting program there. Mrs. Gardier started the program when, and baby boomers, you can all relate to this, all we had for the radio broadcasting program was one of these big black reel-to-reel square recorders, one single microphone, and another of the big blue, quote, record players. Wasn't even a turntable, just a record player back then. But that was the start, the only, as a matter of fact, formal broadcast training that I ever received. And as it turned out, having two wonderful parents with a great appreciation for a man of color having a working knowledge of the English language, and teachers that truly cared and inspired their students. And 41 years later, I end up the recipient of the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters Lifetime Achievement Award for Excellence in Broadcasting. I wish that I could lay claim or credit to that, but it all goes back to two wonderful parents and some great folks at Glen Oaks Senior High School. So as I'm driving down the interstate and I see this big billboard, Glen Oaks High School's online radio station, as you might imagine, all the antenna went up, the hair on the back of my neck literally stood up. I couldn't wait to get home, jump on the phone, and call the folks at Glen Oaks High to share the good news about the wonderful program there. So joining me to start this morning's show is the principal, Mr. Robert Signator, and the instructor for the radio program, Mr. Adrian Augustus. Got to start it off this morning, guys, first and foremost by saying, go Panthers. How are you this morning, Principal Signator?
We're pretty good.
Okay.
Typical Monday.
So what does it mean to you to head up a school that is doing such wonderful things in the public education arena?
It means a lot to me because Glen Oaks is where I got my start. My first teaching job was at Glen Oaks, and hopefully this will be my last assignment here at Glen Oaks.
So what does it mean to know that you have a staff that is charged with getting the light to come on for students? I mean, you know, students throughout history have had a little bit of a reluctance to learning. You have to be able to reach them where they are. And when I look at the list of alums from little old Glen Oaks Senior High School, throughout the years, that school has done some wonderful things. That's an awesome responsibility, is it not?
Yes, it's a real awesome responsibility, you know, and we're just glad to have people that are surrounded and looking for the best interests of kids. And Mr. Augustus, he has a heart for the kids, and he really trying to teach them the skills that he knows.
Let's talk with Mr. Augustus about that. You know, I as a man of color, my parents early on understood the value of a young black man being able to effectively communicate and express himself. Can you overemphasize, can you put enough emphasis on how important that is? And is that one of the things that you focus on in this program?
Hey, Mr. Buggs, I think communication is one of the single most very important things that you have to know. Being able to effectively communicate can take you many different places, and not just with broadcasting, but in life, because you're going to have job interviews. You're going to be in front of professional people all the time, so you have to be able to effectively communicate. So I think that's one of the single most important things, and that's what we do before we even get a chance to get into the recording booth and start to record anything. You have to know how to effectively communicate. So we do presentations all of the time, and they have to get in front of the class and present their bell ringers, and they have to have proper posture and proper tonality as far as making sure that they're saying the proper words and things of that nature.
When I started, I mentioned we had one reel-to-reel tape recorder, one microphone, one record player. I would imagine you probably have a little bit more equipment than that these days.
Yes, we actually have an Apple computer that we use. A lot of the other systems in the school are still Windows-based. We have an Apple computer that we use. We have a recording booth where the students can get into the booth. We have microphones with pop filters and things of that nature, so they can get in there and actually record in a nice confined space. And we're able to make things happen.
You know, this is a somewhat touchy question, but I'm sure you will accept it in the spirit that it's given, and I'm sure you can relate to it. Some 40 years ago when I started, there was a perception in the community of the people of color that if you put an emphasis on enunciating, if you put an emphasis on correct grammar, if you put an emphasis on maximizing tonality, many times you were teased as if you were, quote, trying to sound white. Have we gotten past that hump in the road? And how do students nowadays perceive what you're trying to teach?
I think it's still a struggle. I think we still find ourselves kind of into that same barrier because the kids do not want to be looked at as if they're trying to be something that they're not, and so they want you to kind of accept them for who they are. But we have to, as administrators and as teachers, we have to show them that that these possibilities, these different opportunities, people still are going to look at us how they look at us, but we have to be able to do what we do and to continue to have the pride in what we do.
What kind of growth do you see in the students from the time they start this program and when they finish?
The biggest thing I've seen has been confidence. They've their confidence, because a lot of kids are shy starting off, even though you may not be in front of a big crowd or you're not in front of a live audience. Sometimes they are shy when they first get into their booth. They don't want to read what they may have to read and to be able to present for the radio, but they find themselves over time wanting to get into the booth and wanting to record, and I think that's been the biggest part of growth that I've seen throughout this year.
So what sort of requirements are there for students to take part in this program?
Currently, the biggest requirement right now is just having a 2.5 grade point average, and they're able to get in and start learning these skills.
Are there any requirements for you to be able to remain in the program?
Just basically maintaining that 2.5 grade point average. That's the biggest thing. Well, I think if I'm not mistaken, I think in the program they're able to start taking classes through the radio program without any requirements. But once you get in, you have to maintain that 2.5.
I'd like to go back to Principal Signator for just a moment. For people that have not been, and I would imagine this probably applies to the largest percentage of people watching this show right now. For folks that have not set foot back in a public school since they graduated from their public high school, I noticed on the website you are doing some amazing things, and it's no longer just reading, writing, arithmetic. I mean, you all are doing sports medicine at Glen Oaks. You're doing a medical program. You've got an online radio station. Why should folks that may not consider taking a look at Glen Oaks and other public schools, why should they maybe reconsider that, Principal Signator?
I think they should reconsider because it's developing a sense of community. A sense of ownership. And in the Glen Oaks community is a big community, and it's a lot of students around the Glen Oaks community that go to a lot of other schools, and we're just trying to get them to come back home so we can have a sense of community. It's a great school, and we're just trying to get to be the forefront of North Baton Rouge in this area.
Fantastic. Well, I got to say one more time before I let you go, gentlemen, go Panthers.
And Mr. Bugs, when you get a chance, you could come by and see how we have a studio. You could come by and check it out. Maybe we can get you to do a short primo on our radio station.
I'd love it. And by the way, how can folks check out the radio station?
You can check us out Live 365. That is the website. They also have an app for your phone, Live 365, G.O.Radio, 66.5 The Panther, KGOM.
Gotcha. Principal and Mr. Augustus, God bless you for what you're doing. Keep up the good work and go Panthers.
Thank you. Go Gio.
There you go. I love it. I love it. All right, first break of this hour. I am assuming I'm somewhere in the ballpark, considering Marty set the clock but didn't start it when we started the segment. So I'm assuming I'm just about where I need to be. White people, you can't get good help anyway these days. First break of today's show. We'll talk more as we come back on the Clarence Bugg Show, here and only here on the Pelican. Stay close.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
I'm self-employed and didn't report all my income. They claim I owe a lot more than I do.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wages wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
Tax Solutions Now saved my business.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 800-778-4345. 800-778-4345.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystoneCountryClub.com.
Hi, I'm Hurricane Betsy Barnes.
And I'm Dr. Kay Siller with the Rocket Right Show.
We are two busy blondes on the go showing off life in Louisiana.
Watch us on Pelican Sports Network.
And Talk 107.3 FM. Check local listings for times.
Team Honda wants to thank you for once again making us Louisiana's #1 new car dealer by offering you never-before-seen savings. For the first time ever, get 0% financing up to 60 months on some of your favorite Honda models. Get thousands in savings right now at Team Honda on Segan Lane.
Balello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing. You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day. Balello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Mandafine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Mandafine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Mandafine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Welcome back to today's edition of the Clarence Bud Show. Whoa, Marty started the clock. Boy, will wonders never cease, right? It is, of course, 2 minutes early. There you go. It is, of course, Monday, and if you are new to the show, new to the station, in response to the ever-increasing rash of stupidity all across the length and breadth of this grand republic of ours, we have instituted a segment we call, Now That's Just Stupid. But you'll notice it is not spelled the conventional or grammatically correct way of S-T-U-P-I-D. That's just regular stupid. What we delve into for this segment is a whole level above regular stupid, hence S-T-O-O-P-I-D. Now that's just stupid. We start under the heading of government is not the solution. Government is the problem. Enter San Francisco, California. Need I say any more? The granola state, where if you take out the fruits and the flakes, all you have left are the nuts. San Francisco, as I'm sure you probably know by now, has a massive homeless problem. Attempting to deal with the homelessness there, aside from the $650 million budget deficit that they're running there, California decided to attack the homeless problem in San Francisco. So Mayor London Breed has erected 3 tent cities to house around 300 homeless people. Sounds good so far. I mean, you're compassionate. You don't want these people living on the streets. So we will erect tents to put them in. The cost comes out for these tents to house 300 people, $61,000 per tent per year. All told, the cost of the program to house 300 people for a year is $16.1 million. The homeless, for this price, 16.1 mil, could have been put in their own apartments. But San Francisco, being the good stewards of taxpayer dollars that they are, decided we could spend $6,000 a month for $61,000 a year. Instead of putting in an apartment, let's put them in a tent. 262 tents spread across 6 sites. Ironically, had they chosen to put these folks in apartments, not only would they have saved money, but they would not have had to pay for all the extras. The cost for these tents, including 24-hour security, bathrooms, maintenance, and 3 meals per day, comes out to $190 per tent per night. At $190 a pop, Motel 6 would have given them bathrooms, security, and then all you have left to pay for are the meals. $190 a night for homeless individuals to stay in a tent. Yeah. As you might imagine, now that's just stupid. From there, and we have seen this building, and I have yet to figure out where it comes from, why there is such an emphasis on it, and if and when we are going to come to our senses about this. But Glamour magazine, like so many other magazines do, they decide that we need a special edition. And in this special edition, we will honor certain groups of people. So Glamour magazine, in running their Women of the Year awards, has as one of their Women of the Year a biological male. Transgender model Monroe Burdorf is labeled a, quote, game-changing influencer. Their Women of the Year awards honors game changers, rule breakers, and trailblazers for 30 years now. To celebrate this special birthday, we're looking back at the incredible women we've honored and the new generation of women shaking up the world, so they said in their announcement. This year, Glamour features a biological man who now identifies as a woman. According to Glamour, quote, someone who knows the impact discrimination has on black transgender people is Monroe Burdorf. The 33-year-old has long been campaigning for marginalized voices. Her 2018 documentary, What Makes a Woman, explored changing ideas around gender and identity and showcased her as one of the UK's most progressive activists. She has since been appointed UN Women UK Changemaker and sits on the, wait for it, Diversity and Inclusion Board of L'Oréal Paris, working to ensure that black, trans, and queer voices are represented. In 2020, she was heralded as a next generation leader in Time magazine. She modeled for major brands including Calvin Klein and has been a Glamour UK cover star. Now, after an 11-way bidding war, Monroe has signed a 6-figure book deal for her 2021 debut. Transitional, a discussion of gender, sexuality, love, relationship, and race. Just when you thought we couldn't get any more stupid, along comes honoring a man who thinks he's a woman as a Woman of the Year. And y'all scoff at me when I say liberalism is a disease. Honoring as a Woman of the Year a biological male. Now that's just stupid. We wrap it up today with the good folks in Chicago. As you all know by now, Chicago has unbridled, unchecked violence using firearms. They are shooting folk every week in Chicago like 40 going north, like free lunch, like it's something to give away. Well, this weekend, for the second time in a year, 15 people shot in one incident. 2 died. Come to find out, there was a party being held, and apparently somebody didn't like what was happening at the party. Out come the guns. People start shooting. 15 folks are shot. 2 died. But what is even harder for me to wrap my mind around is that this happened at 4:40 in the morning on a Sunday at a place that bills itself as a towing repair / auto repair shop / bar. You can't make this stuff up. So what's the impetus of this business here? Well, if you get out and you get in a wreck, we'll come pick your car up. We'll bring it back to the shop. While we're working to repair it, have a drink on us. A towing repair / repair shop / bar at 4:40 in the morning on a Sunday. I would wonder what's more stupid, that you open a towing / auto repair shop / bar at 4:40 in the morning, or that people are in the towing / auto repair / bar at 4:40 in the freaking morning on a Sunday. The old folk used to tell us, nothing good happens out there after 2 o'clock. Apparently these folk didn't get the message, because they're out at 4:40 in the morning on a Sunday at the towing company / auto repair shop / bar. And the folks in Chicago think the folks in Louisiana do crazy stuff. All you can do is shake your head, because that's just stupid. Scam alert. That's up next. Carmen Million with the BBB of South Central Louisiana joins us when we continue today's edition of the Clarence Bugg Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
Got termites? Get Premier Pest. PremierPestServices.com.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Jaguar Nation, we need your help in masking up Louisiana.
Masking up will slow the spread of COVID-19.
During this time, we must continue to wear a mask, wash our hands, and practice social distancing.
It's important that we continue to abide by the CDC's guidelines to stop the spread.
Jaguar Nation, we challenge you to mask up.
Go Jags!
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Caught spiders. Premier Pest Services.
Welcome back to today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show. We have been a little remiss in our duties as of late, but we've had so much ground to cover on so many different things. I am hoping that you will charge it to my head and not to my heart. We've not been able to give you as many scam alerts as we would have liked to in recent memory. We've had all sorts of crazy things going on, but the beast being of the nature that the beast is, it seems as though the more things we go through, the more scams we have to watch out for. So we bring in our resident scam expert, and you all, I know she will accept it in the spirit that it's given. I hope you all will as well. Carmen Million, the president and CEO of the Better Business Bureau of South Central Louisiana. Carmen, good morning, and how are you today?
Good morning, Clarence. It's a beautiful day, and I'm feeling good. So, good day.
Fantastic. Let's start with it's close to that time of the year. Education circles, a lot of our students are starting to entertain the SAT and prep scores and the like. And as regular as clockwork, here come the scammers. What's going on with the SAT prep scams?
Well, you know, most kids are wanting to score as high as they can on those tests, and of course they need help in some cases. And what's happening is that we know that consumers are getting an unsolicited call from somebody who's claiming they're with the College Board, which is actually the company who's responsible for the ACT test.
Okay.
And they state that they're trying to confirm information, and what they're really doing, it's sort of like a phishing scam. They're asking for personal information, and in some cases they're telling people that they have to pay money up front. And those are signs that we want consumers to be aware of. That's a concern.
Mm-hmm. When individuals are concerned about their child's education, or a child for that matter, they get that call. It's almost an automatic reaction to drop your guard because, you're thinking, okay, this is something important. It's dealing with my future, with my education. Let me be sure that they have all the information that they need to be sure to get this right because I want all the help that's out there for me. How do you ascertain, or is it possible up front to ascertain that these folks are, in fact, who they say they are, Carmen?
Yeah, I mean, with social media and with the technology today, these scammers can get your information and make it look like they're legitimate. But the first thing you need to be aware of is if you get an unsolicited caller that you're not aware of, you need to take control of the conversation and get information from them before you give any information. And you need to definitely check with your child to see if they've even applied for this yet.
Right.
And of course, it's so important to understand how this organization, the College Board, actually works. And of course, one of the things you need to know is that they're never going to ask for money up front. And that's always a concern, especially when they're asking you to pay with a cash card or to wire money, that sort of thing. Those are warning signs right there.
All right, let's shift gears. Recently, South Louisiana ravaged by a winter storm, and I can only imagine that just like every other weather event in Louisiana, if not every other state in the union, there are some folks out there that are trying to separate decent, hard-working folks from their money. What are the storm chasers up to these days?
Well, it's really a concern because we know that Southwest Louisiana, other areas were hit hard, and there are good companies out there that are willing to work with you. Unfortunately, it brings out the bad people.
Right.
And so these storm chasers, signs to look for is when they don't have a business card, they can't show you their proper licensing, but they're willing to do a job today, and you don't have a firm price or a contract. And of course, they give you excuses of why they need a substantial amount of money up front, which is I have to buy materials. If these people, even if they're coming from outside of the area, they should have the necessary permits and licenses, and they should have it set up to where they don't need a substantial amount of money up front. But you need to ask questions. People make bad decisions in a bad situation. And a desperate situation. We know that there are still people living in campers and they're out of their homes and they're desperate to get back. But you don't need to make a bad situation worse by hiring some fly-by-night who's going to take your money and leave.
On another front, I see where gift cards now are increasing in popularity with scammers. How do we protect ourselves there, Carmen?
Look, gift cards are something that people use now. It's a really popular mode of paying for things or buying things. But anytime somebody asks you to pay with a gift card, that's a concern because what you need to understand is when you pay with a gift card, you're paying with cash. And the way it works is they tell you whether you won something or you're purchasing something or whatever the case may be.
Right.
All they need is the gift card number to verify that it's legitimate. Once they get that number, they can remove every penny off the card. And what's concerning about this is you will never know who it is that removed it, and nobody is available to help you to get your cash back. So never pay with a gift card. Be very cautious when you're purchasing gift cards. You want to also make sure that the numbers have not been messed with. There's so many things that you need to do. Gift cards are good, but you need to protect yourself and know all the warning signs.
Also, in the wake of COVID-19, working from home now has exploded exponentially. And I guess it's just the nature of the beast that anytime there's an explosion in anything in our societal lives, our professional lives, our technological lives, the scammers never seem to take a day off. You're also now warning us against work-at-home scams. What does all that center around, Carmen?
Well, first of all, for years we've warned people about work-at-home scams because it was just very hard to do work at home. But because of COVID-19, people are learning to work at home. so the potential for somebody to be a victim of a work-at-home scam has grown exponentially. And so kind of the warning signs is if somebody approaches you and they tell you that you're they want you to work for them, and they are using legitimate sites to contact you, but they're either asking for money up front, or which you should never pay to work, or they're sending you a check and they're telling you to deposit. That's your first deposit on nobody's going to pay you to do work before you've actually done the work.
Right.
So you need to investigate these companies. If they tell you that they're with a specific industry or company, you need to check either with the Better Business Bureau or the particular name that they're using, because unfortunately there are legitimate businesses that are having their name stolen to perpetuate the scam. And so, and unfortunately, because of the situation, people are going to make, again, bad decisions in a bad situation. They're desperate. They need to feed their family. They need a job. And this is a lifeline. And unfortunately, in some cases, it's not. They're just going to lose more money.
Finally, it is the time of year as we start seeing now spring break. We start seeing the relaxation of a lot of the lockdown rules for COVID-19 in various parts of the country. A lot of people now starting to finally be able to exhale just a little bit. So they're planning a getaway, a pandemic getaway, for lack of a better phrase. Obviously, there are some things that we need to be cognizant of in that regard as well.
Right. I mean, first of all, you may know what your state rules are or what they've put in place, and every state may be a little bit different. So before you make that plan, you need to investigate and find out what the rules are in that area. You also need to do your homework as far as where you're going to stay, the company that you're going to be dealing with, whether you're using a travel agent or you're trying to get the information yourself online. You really need to do your homework, understand your rights as far as rental. If there's cancellations, we get so many people that book something and then they go to cancel it and they didn't read the cancellation policy, so they lose money. Again, it's like anything else. If you're going to take a vacation, start planning now and investigate every part of that from start to finish. And if you need additional help, tips, or you want to check on a company, it's always best to check with the Better Business Bureau first.
Speaking of checking with the Better Business Bureau of South Louisiana first, how do we go about accessing that valuable information, Carmen?
Well, first of all, you can always go to bbb.org to file a complaint, log a scam, or check on a company, or you can call the Better Business Bureau at 225-346-5222.
Fantastic. Carmen Million, President and CEO of the Better Business Bureau of South Central Louisiana. Great information as always. Thank you for the time, and stay safe, Carmen.
You too, Clarence. Thank you.
You're quite welcome. Oh, and by the way, those of you that may be planning that getaway, and particularly if you have young people that may be planning a getaway in your family, you might want to take note of the fact that a lot of areas of the country this year are either canceling spring break or they have instituted some serious limitations in that regard. So just a word to the wise. Hopefully it will be sufficient. Your kids will know ahead of time before they pack up and hit the road for that road trip. You will know before you decide to do the same that it's not business as usual in a lot of places. Check it out first. Check it out thoroughly. And that way you don't find yourself wasting time, money, energy, effort, or all of the above. Final break of today's show. We'll get her done, come back, put that big old pretty bow on this puppy, and wrap up today's edition of the Clarence Bugg Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Mandafine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Mandafine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Mandafine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
From appetizers, pasta dishes, and entrees, La Contea takes pride in preparing all the Italian cuisine we know you love. Enjoy live music every Thursday through Saturday from 6 to 9, happy hour weekdays from 3 to 6, and brunch on Sundays from 11 to 2, as well as dinner portion-sized lunch specials for under $10. Visit our website to view our menu and book a party or meeting in our large banquet room. Once you try La Contea, your Italian dining will change forever.
We're making 2021 the year of savings, and it starts right now at Team Toyota. Come get a new 21 Corolla for just $189 a month, or get a 20 Camry for just $19,995. It's a year full of savings starting right now, right here at Team Toyota.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With Private Healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private Healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready, and health insurance is your financial safety net. Health insurance has never been so easy and affordable. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, call the number on the screen now and speak with a live healthcare consultant. Don't wait. Get the coverage you need now.
Welcome back for the final segment of today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show. All right, Marty, come on. Which one? Which way are we going here? All right, we going with this one? You sure? Got center camera for one. Do I hear two? Left camera, left. Okay, lock down on that one. All right. Every now and then you come across things that confirm you're getting old. It is an inevitable part of life. And for a huge part of the human existence, when certain things are no longer made or certain people are no longer alive, it gives you a benchmark of sorts. And a gentleman passed last week, Friday, that if you're a baby boomer, every single one of you, and not just baby boomers, the greatest generation would be included in this number as well. All of you know this guy's work. None of you know the guy. He developed something that became a part of American culture. And for those of us that enjoy music, it was a quantum leap in technology and sound. Lou Ottens, Ottens, of the Netherlands, he was Dutch, died at the age of 94. And I know you're probably racking your brain saying, where do I know that name from? Where do I know that name from? Well, you probably don't. He was a structural engineer who trained at the prestigious Technical University in Delft. He worked for Philips Electronics and was the guy who developed the cassette tape. Remember when all we had were 8-tracks and reel-to-reels? And the 8-track was limited in its sound quality, but it was portable. You could put it in the car. So it ushered in a brand new era of portability and music selection. I mean, prior to the 8-track, all there was the radio. You had to listen to what was on any given radio station at any given time. Well, along came the 8-track. Now, all of a sudden, you can listen to what you want to listen to in your car anytime you want to. Problem was, it gave you the variety and the option, but the sound quality, you could take it or leave it. Well, enter Lou Ottens, develops the cassette tape for Philips Electronics, and the rest is history. Ask baby boomers how many bedroom mixtapes they made. Ask baby boomers, or greatest generation for that matter, how many tapes did they record themselves to listen in the car? By the way, he was also instrumental, was Lou Ottens, in developing the compact disc. And your young people are going, what's a cassette? Many of them are probably going, what's a CD? Because, I mean, they stream and they download. That's all they do. But there had to be something as a predecessor to all of that. So if you really want to have some fun, tonight when you're with your kids, the younger ones, pull out a cassette tape and ask them to tell you what it is. Better yet, get the cassette tape, take the screws out, and take the tape out and hand it to them. It's like getting someone who is 8, 9, 10 years old. You hand them your smartphone. They can take that smartphone and do stuff with it that will boggle your mind. And as soon as you take that cell phone, the smartphone out of their hand, set in front of them an old-fashioned Marble rotary dial phone and watch their heads explode trying to figure out how to use this darn thing. When you get your 10-year-old and you put that rotary dial phone in front of them, make sure you got a roll of duct tape, wrap it around their heads, so when it explodes, they'll still have all the pieces, okay? It is the funniest thing to watch young kids try to figure out how to use a rotary telephone. Got to send a tip of the hat out too, by the way, to some folks in a small town that to me is it's the epitome of small town America. Zachary, Louisiana. If you've never been there, just imagine small town America, small town Louisiana, down home, honest to goodness, decent, hard-working folks, one community school, public school, serving everyone there, and an immense amount of pride in their athletic programs. The Broncos at Zachary have been known for years for putting together sterling athletic programs. But last week, the basketball team at Zachary High School won their first state championship in 77 years. Only in a small town in America can you measure the amount of pride that comes along with that accomplishment. When you're talking about so many cities that are so much larger than that small town, and you are able to pull off a feat of bringing home the gold back to your city after 77 years, it's something that they will be talking about for an awfully, awfully long time. Big time tip of the hat to Zachary High School, the coaching staff, teachers, administrators, and of course the players for believing in what they could accomplish, for making the sacrifice to make it happen, and to be the first state champions to wear the Bronco blue in some 77 years. Outstanding. Outstanding. Job well done, Zachary Broncos. And before we get out of here, also want to say a very, very special good morning. If he doesn't see it this morning, well, good evening, if he happens to catch the replay later tonight, to Pat Anglade. Pat Anglade is a guy that has dedicated his entire life, professional life, to law enforcement in East Baton Rouge. You may or may not be aware that he was battling COVID-19 for the better part of a month, had been hospitalized. But finally, he is able to return home and hopefully resume a normal life. He is a guy that is as Baton Rouge and as Louisiana as you will ever find. And on top of that, he's a good guy to boot. So Pat, we are pulling for you, my man. And we have sent up prayers on your behalf, and we will continue to do so in that regard. Glad to see you on your way home, my friend, and hopefully you will find all well when you get there. Later this week, a couple of fronts going to move through, so get prepared for the rain. It's not our first rodeo here in South Louisiana. We're not expecting there to be any flood events, but there is the possibility that some of the weather could in fact be severe. So obviously you want to stay abreast of the weather situation in your part of God's country that we affectionately refer to as the Bayou State. And hopefully all of us will get through this and will come out on the other side of it, none the worse for wear. If you are a sports fan, by the way, you'll notice probably Clarence didn't talk about Drew Brees retiring. Well, I can't talk him into staying, so there's not really a whole lot I can say in that regard. But if you catch the Roger Cador show later this week that yours truly has the opportunity to be the host for, you'll get all your fill there. That's coming up a little later today and will air tomorrow on Pelican Sports TV. That is going to bring to a close another edition of the Clarence Bugg Show. But this day, just like every other since I had been blessed to have a platform, I give it to you. You're right. America, nope. In no way, shape, or form are we perfect. But doggone it, for this old boy's money, it's the best there is. And God knows there is no place else on his green earth that I'd rather be. Speaking of the good Lord, you do realize by now that he loves you, right? And I hope you know that I do too. Either way, there ain't a doggone thing you can do about either one. Take care of yourselves and each other. We'll see you tomorrow. God bless.